unless there's at least 4 inches of ice, and that's with the safety. Oh, you gotta love it. Yeah, I know. Oh, wow! That's the biggest one yet. Big jumbo perch. Oh, I love catching fish through the ice. Welcome, everybody, to the Bro Road Show. We just got through with the St. Paul Ice Show, and that was a blast. Had a great time there, and glad to be back. We had some really cold weather while we were there and gone, and I'm surprised. Some of the spots that I checked before I went down to the show, hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming out. It's going to be a great show tonight. Some major prize giving aways tonight. But anyway, some of the ice doubled. Missouri, all right. So we got a lot of ice. It's making so much noise. It's crazy, but I got a chance to go out today and had a great time. I knew I had to hurry up and pack up and get ready for tonight, and it was -1. A lot of the shallow lakes are well on their way. Red Lake is fine. Just go have fun. Don't worry about nothing. So get out there and have a good time. Just remember, wherever you go, if you're off the beaten path, chisel, drill, check. And I want to thank Chesterburg Toyota for sponsoring the show. They're great. Stop in there. They were the first Toyota dealership in the United States, and they're #1 in customer service, and it's where I go. And I think just go there, say hi, have a cup of coffee, and hang out, and you might go home with a legendary truck. Another thing, check out Bemidji Sports Center. If you want a tricked out ride, go down there, talk to Brandon. Brandon will take care of you. I'm telling you, you got to go there and get a nice side-by-side, get a four-wheeler, get a koozie. Just go in there and say hi. But I appreciate their sponsorship also. And hello, how you doing? Toledo, Iowa. I just want to say, before I bring in Sam, my co-host of the Bro Host, he is just the best at everything there is. I want to say we got some great guests tonight. Joe Raymer, all the way from Linwood, Michigan. You talk about a walleye lake that's 10 times, 100 times the size of Red Lake. You're talking about the Bay, and we'll get into that a little bit more. They catch walleyes out of there like they're rough fish. It's crazy as a destination. He's going to come on. Then we got Joe Henry, Lake of the Woods. Hey, good to see you guys. Lake of the Woods. He's coming in to tell us what's shaking down. Joe Henry is a great, great guy to talk to. He's so nice. It's contagious. It's great. Then after that, we got Nick Cox, VP of Razor. This guy is killing it. He's outselling almost everybody in the room, and he's got a superior product. And I'm so glad that I got to drill with my razor. I razored a bunch of holes tonight. Brooke, could you bring in my bro host of the Mo host, Sam Larsen? This guy designs lures for Northland Tackle. He's a TV podcast show. We did live at the St. Paul Ice Show shows. He's a man of many hats and wins tournaments and paints stamps. Welcome. Hey, thanks for coming out, Sam.
Hey, bro. How's it going?
It's going. I mean, I had a lot. That was a lot to get off my chest right now.
I know.
We got ice, man. Don't we got ice?
We got ice. Temperatures are just baking it right now. A lot of ice building throughout the area, so it's really, really good to see.
Absolutely. And I have people telling me, where's the ice? If I don't say the name of the lake, it's probably where I'm fishing, okay? There's your little clue. Mm-hmm. But Leech, Cass, Winnie, Bemidji, everything's sealed up.
Yep.
But on those deeper lakes, there's heat vents, just like there on the Great Lakes. Check as you go. Go online, study what ice safety is, and memorize it, because we're here to talk about getting out there, fishing, having fun, and being cautious at the same time. But before we get too carried away here, Sam, what are we giving away tonight?
Well, on the regular side of things, we got a prize pack full of a bunch of good stuff. We got Northland Tackle Glow Shot Firebelly Spoon assortment. We're going to do an Otter backpack, an 8-inch Razor Scout, thanks to Nick Cox, and then finally the Bro Road Show mug. So for that giveaway, like, comment, and share on this show, and we'll be picking a winner at the end of the show. And, bro, we got another giveaway going, too.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe this. Thanks to Frank's Great Outdoors, all you have to do is share Shanty Days 9 through 11. Just share that. Shanty Days 9th through the 11th. And then tag me, and we're going to pick a winner. You win an Otter Monster Lodge at the end of this show. Look at that. You could be King Biscuit on the lake. I'm telling you, this is crazy. So all you got to do is share Shanty Days, the 9th through the 11th, and you win that at the end of the show if you get picked. And it's all random. Good thing I don't have to do it. All right, so let's get on with this. Sam, real quick, what kind of ice do you have there? What are the levels?
Yeah, so I haven't really gotten a whole lot of reports since we've been back from the ice show, but I've heard Red Lake, it sounds like some wheeler traffic and maybe even some small houses with wheelers soon, right? Is that what you've been hearing too?
Yeah, it's crazy how that stuff's happening, but make sure when you share Shanty Days 9 through 11, you tag me because we got to pick it out of the tags. So share it to your favorite sites and then tag me. They're letting wheelers on in places side by side. You got to check as you go. Call ahead to make sure. And we got the UPs checking in here. But what I've seen, even the resorts on Winnie are getting ready to let people out, and houses on Lake are out on Lake of the Woods in many areas. Joe Henry just threw a little tip on there.
Yep.
So think LOTW, and you can't go wrong with that.
I saw some people walking out on the south end of Lake Bemidji, which that's one of the last lakes to freeze in the area. The south end freezes first, but they were walking. I don't know exactly how many inches they were walking on, so I'd definitely check it out. But yeah, it's ice season is upon us for sure.
It's fantastic. I can't even believe that this is going on this early. This is really, really, really fast. And I just got to say that I remember ice fishing a couple of weeks ago with lots of ice many years ago. All right, hey, we're chasing Walters tonight. I'm glad you're with us. But right now, on a lake that I was out and had 5 inches of ice, I've got 11 inches of ice right now. It's crazy how this stuff went. We're at the St. Paul Ice Show, losing our voice.
Was that before the ice show till when you got back?
Yes. Yeah, so that's like 4 days. And it was cracking, popping, exploding. You can't hardly catch anything when it does that. It's too noisy. But it's that. Oh, let's bring on. I want to say he's a great guy, and he's all the way from Linwood, Michigan. Here's Joe Raymer from Frank's Great Outdoors. And Joe, he is almost there. There he is.
Hey, Joe.
How you doing?
What's going on, guys?
Not too much. You're getting ready for a big show out there, Shanty Days. Can you tell people about that?
Yeah, it's been going on. I've been doing it about 13 years now. So it's the biggest ice show in Michigan for sure. Single store in Linwood, Michigan, Frank's Great Outdoors, right on Saginaw Bay, bro. You know, you've been there.
Yeah.
We have all kinds of great deals. Shanty's going like crazy. We got second, third loads of otter just coming. There'll be another load of otter coming tomorrow. There's people loving otter up here for sure. You know that.
Oh, yeah. It's a big water house. It's a small water house, but I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Insulated otter. They're built.
Yeah, they're built for sure.
So where he's at right there, he's on the bay, and this is a great lake. It's a bay of a great lake. And explain to people where this is at who are not from the area.
It's Saginaw Bay, which is Lake Huron on the east side of Michigan. We get a lot of destination people just like Pete there. So we get a lot of people coming from 2-3 hours away from the UP, Iowa. We have people from Iowa, New York. So anyways, it's on Lake Huron side of Michigan. Comes down underneath by the thumb there, and it's right in the bay, and that's pretty much freezes every year. And the walleye fishing's phenomenal. Obviously, it's a later ice in the year, but it's icing up when you guys are tired of ice fishing over there. So then we get the second season. But the walleye are fishing right now in the river. It's awesome. It's incredible, the fishing.
It's a walleye state, Sam. I've told you should come out there.
I know a bunch of times, and I've yet to be out that far. But it sounds like
not as far as like going to like Disney World or anything like that. Now, I'm not trying to tell families not to go to Disney World and just to go to Linwood, Michigan, but it is really cool there. I love all the diners there, the good home cooked food. Of course, I'm going to like that. Look at me. You're already judging me by how I look. I love it there. The food's good. The people are so nice. It's some of the nicest shows. I mean, they're so nice. I just love them there.
So
they're very passionate. Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
What's going to be the hot item at the show? Mega Live, Otter Fish Houses? What do you got?
Well,
oh, he looks like he froze for a little bit here.
He's thinking. When I do that, I'm not froze. I'm thinking. Here he is.
Yeah. Otter's definitely number one as far as fish houses go, which, it's Shanty Days. But, yeah, so Otter number one.
Sometimes he get brain freeze, and happens to all of us, right? He's just doing this. He's faking this. He's not frozen. There he is.
All right. So, yeah, the other big items are, all the ice lures. They're a lot different than, obviously than what you guys are using out there. Got the shiners. Obviously, with the buckshots, those are going to be hot this year. The glass buckshots, a lot of people are looking for those. Mm-hmm. Just all the different lures. Shiners, it's a different fishing. And it's fun. They're just attacking it, man. It's awesome.
I imagine that glass buckshot would be pretty good out there. It's not your typical large size, but there's a ton of reflective colors in there, and that really imitates that forge you have out in that system.
Absolutely. And we just got the shiners this year are running like crazy. Lots and lots. That's beautiful. Yeah. Lots and lots of grays this year, like you guys call it spot tails. Lots of grays, man. So the middle situation at the store right now is awesome. So we're looking for a great season, man. Yeah.
Well, I love grays or spot tails, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And it's like a guaranteed bite in my neck of the woods. We just can't get them. And that's just amazing that they got. I go to their bait shop and I just stare at their tanks because I look down there and everything in there would get bit. It's just amazing. But what a fishery. And they've shot a lot of shows. Out of some Minnesota TV shows have been coming to you and shooting shows, especially last year was real tough going. And it was like a big parking lot out there, easy to get anywhere you want to go.
Yeah. When the ice is out there, it's definitely a destination place that I would suggest anybody from Minnesota, Wisconsin, anybody from over there to come out and check this out. Because when you can get out, like you said, the guys out there in the shows are all doing shows 5 to 10 pounders. It's really not uncommon at all.
Yeah. And what's the limit out there?
8.
8?
8.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's worth the trip, man.
Man, it sounds like they're paying you in fillets to come out and fish.
3 rods, 2 rods and a tip up.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No. So
can I put a gill net down?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no, it's a blast. If you haven't been there, you got to go there. You only live once, right?
It's awesome.
You got to go there. I love it. I've been over by you, and I fished there, and I fished all over up in the Thumb and up in the north part. Beautiful lakes, jumbo giant perch.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been to Idaho. That's fun too, but I'm a flatlander. I have a hard time driving in mountains.
Yeah. The perch are good too. But the walleye is number one for sure. It's almost a guarantee. It's about as much of a guarantee as you can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So tell everybody, Joe, how they can win this. Give us a little help. Win this otter tonight.
All right. So you're going to pick the winner, right?
Yep.
So you got to like, share, and tag you, and write Shanty Days, December 9th through the 11th in the tag. And Bro's going to pick a winner. And then Frank's Great Outdoors, myself, and their great crew in the shipping department is going to ship out a free Monster Lodge from Frank's Great Outdoors for Bro and the Bro Road Show.
And you know how big that house is? I was in the picture. You couldn't see me. I was like Bro visible. Visible.
It's a nice shanty. And actually, we got a great deal on that going on this week. It's $5.99 for anybody wanting to buy it. In store, it's $5.99 and a free $80 otter sled. Or it's $5.99 online too. We'll ship them out too. So those are usually in $750, $740, something like that.
Mhm.
So we got
Holy moly.
great
This
deals
is-
going on.
This is awesome. We'll have to have you on again. You're always a great time. We can have you the whole show, but I don't think Joe Henry would like that. But anyway, Joe Raymer from Frank's Great Outdoors. We all appreciate the giveaways. It gets people thinking about ice and what they could fit in that shack. A whole room of people. Thanks for coming out. And
thanks for having
up
me.
Next, Joe Henry. He's always got a smile on his face. He is Mr. Lake of the Woods. He is full of information for us. Joe Henry, come on if you're there.
Hey guys, how you doing?
How you doing, man?
How do you know I had a smile on my face?
You always do.
Bro, let me ask you a question. Did you catch those perch and walleyes behind you, or did Sam catch them for you?
Heather caught him.
Heather got them. Okay.
Heather.
Yeah, Heather. Yeah, there's 2 16.5-inch perch she got. There's a 32-inch walleye she got. They look small because I'm next to them. But if I go like this, whoa! You can see how big they are.
I had a chance to have lunch with your bride at the sports show. It's pretty nice, ice fishing show.
That's she didn't tell me. I'm jealous now.
Oh,
With a handsome guy like you,
bro, out in public, out hundreds of people.
Okay, we're safe now.
All right.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And
thank you.
We threw out that little tidbit. You let us know what is going on Lake of the Woods. People are dying to know.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, it happens so fast. And, we're always so careful. Like when people say, well, Joe, what are the ice conditions on Lake of the Woods? Well, you guys know. Lake of the Woods is so big, it's hard to make a blanket statement on Lake of the Woods for ice because it's so darn big. But I can tell you this, that we've had really cold weather. Like this morning, it was 20 below, and we've had cold weather up to that. So it's game on. We have a lot of resorts, especially in that Pine Island area, that are pulling houses. They're fishing already. I noticed Arneson's pulling houses. They're going to be fishing at the end of the week. I mean, really, it's game on. Just about everybody's going to be fishing by the end of the week. Now, with that being said, I always say, don't assume anything. Based on where you're going out of, work with that resort or outfitter and find out what the conditions are on their ice road, because they've been marking it, they've been grooming it, they've been flooding it. They know, and they can give you weight limitations and that sort of thing. But fish houses are out. People have been catching walleyes, saugers, pike. I mean, it's game on. I can't believe it happened so quickly. It's interesting.
That's amazing.
Normally, people say, well, when do you start ice fishing on Lake of the Woods? As a rule, December 10th. December 10th, give or take, based on Mother Nature, is when day houses get out. I'll tell you what, today is December 7th. We're right about there,
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a great ice freeze up here. This is going to really be a shot in the arm for all the businesses, and they're all ready to go. They got houses. The nice thing about Lake of the Woods, I got to tell people, when I've been up there, when I've been at Arneson's, when I've been in Badette, they always have their people out scouting and drilling.
Yep.
You don't have to if you go through a resort. You just stop in, and they did the work. You just follow their flags.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that, Joe. So for anyone who hasn't been up to Lake of the Woods, it's not your typical public access fishing.
Yeah.
A lot of times you're either buying a road pass or paying to get your house out there. Talk a little bit about that whole experience of what the advantages of going out of those resorts are and what you're going to be prepared for.
Sam, that's really, really good point. On Lake of the Woods, we really, for the most part, we don't go out of public accesses. It just so happens like one big public access Wheeler's Point is on the Rainy River. Well, there's current. So, and then the majority of the public accesses we have are, on the Rainy River, really up in that whole south end of the lake. And then when you get on the south end of the lake, a lot of the accesses are resort accesses. So basically what happens is, and that's not a bad thing, I'll tell you why. Because you got these resorts and outfitters. They're marking trails, they're checking trails, they're flooding them, they're dragging them with huge pieces of steel back and forth, smoothing them out. I mean, they're doing everything they can to make sure that you're going to be safe, to make sure that you're driving on safe ice, and also to make sure that the trail is going to be as safe as possible. Now, with that being said, they charge a fee to go out. So if you're fishing with them, obviously you're going to pay your fish house fee, or if maybe you're doing the American plan, which is the lodging, the fishing, and all your meals included, whatever the case might be, but that'll be included. Now, if you go out and use just the road, maybe you have a wheelhouse, maybe you want to go with your collapsible or a snowmobile or something. Well, then you pay a road access fee, an ice road access fee. And technically what you're paying for there is your private land access to the lake. However, we all know behind the scenes, there's hundreds and hundreds of hours that they have on the lake, grooming that trail, staking that trail. Is the lake public ice? Absolutely. But we all know what kind of work goes into an ice road. And so, Sam, to your point, it is good. And you know what, like right now, I'll say this. Some people might say, well, it's early ice. I always heard early ice is such good fishing, which it is. Really good fishing right now. But people say, oh, gosh, I don't have a four-wheeler. I don't have a side-by-side. I don't have a snowmobile. Doesn't matter. When we have early ice, for our resorts that have pulled their day houses out, not their big sleepers, but their day houses, they'll take you out on their light ice rigs. That would typically be like a Geo Tracker or a Suzuki Samurai with an enclosed trailer that's got a heater in it. It keeps it nice and warm. It's got improved shock absorbers on it. And what they do is they bring you right out to the door of your fish house. The fish house is on the fish. The holes are drilled. It's 70 degrees. First thing you do is you get out. Be careful you don't slip on the ice. Carry your buckets in. Take your jacket off. Hang it up on the hook. And set your rods. That's what you do.
Yeah. That sounds like that's being spoiled. I mean, that's really being spoiled. But that's the neat thing about Lake of the Woods. You know, there's some places that charge an access fee just as much or more than that, and their roads are very short. Yeah. Maybe like a mile, 2 miles. Lake of the Woods, you're by the end of winter, sometimes you're all the way up to Garden Island, aren't you?
Well, you know, those roads will go almost to Garden. They'll go up by, you know, the equivalent of Knighton bridges for the most part. Normally, they get to be about 22 miles long or so.
So 22 miles is what you get late winter when you pay for a road there. And they have a road that goes all the way up into the angle for those resorts. So, you know, if you don't want to go through Canada, maybe you get nervous at borders or whatever, there's a road that goes across the ice, isn't there?
Well, actually, don't. So let me correct that a little bit.
Okay.
We did a Northwest Angle Gas Ice Road the 1 year during the pandemic when the Canadian border was closed and you couldn't get across. So we did that 1 year just to really save the resorts up at the Northwest Angle. You guys, for people that don't know, so we don't have an ice road going to the Angle. If you go to the Northwest Angle, by the way, I should tell you, the Northwest Angle is that little tip of Minnesota that sticks up into Canada. So if you drive there, you drive through Canada about 40 miles and then re-enter into the United States. It's called an exclave. It's the northernmost point of the contiguous U.S., and it's where the 14,552 islands of the lake begin, if you can imagine. So when you're fishing up there, that's kind of where the Canadian shield of Lake of the Woods begins. So you're fishing more reefs and structure and things like that. Great place to fish. But for people that don't want to drive up there, maybe they don't have a passport, whatever, you can take the snowmobile trail across the lake that's groomed and staked, 42 miles.
Adventure.
That keeps you in Minnesota. You don't go into Canada. You can take the Lake of the Woods passenger service. Bro, you know Greg Hannum. That's owned by Greg Hannum.
Yes.
The Lake of the Woods passenger service, that's a bombardier. You can take a round trip to your favorite resort, 42 miles. You don't have to worry with customs. Finally, we got Lake Country Air now. So we have a flying service, and they'll either fly you across the lake or fly you from anywhere in the Midwest, and that'll land you on the ice up at the Northwest Angle, and your favorite resort will pick you up. So if you've never done the flying on the ice, it is so nice.
Can I bring my otter house in that thing?
Oh, actually, they have had otter houses in there because there have been people that said, "Hey, listen, you know what? We want to fish clapsvils up there, but we want to just fly up and make it easy on ourselves, and we're gonna work with the resorts to help us out." And they have stuck otter houses in there for sure. They have that and their electronics and their buckets, and they're ready to roll.
And I thought the phone booth border crossing was cool on the Northwest Angle. I think next time I'm going to have to take a plane. Yeah. That sounds way cooler.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, I got to tell you, last December I did it. I went up there and we shot a TV show up the Angle. And I asked those guys, it's okay, we're going to be landing at about 4 o'clock. I don't think we have time to fish. Oh, yeah, no, we got some houses set up for the night bite. So we landed. The bombardier was fired up. The bombardier came out. They took our luggage to the cabin. We grabbed our buckets. We went in the bomber. We went to the fish house. It was set up in 17 feet of water. It was pop, 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 pop. Now, they weren't big fish. They were anywhere from 14 to probably 19 inches. They weren't real big ones. But boy, did we catch a lot of fish. I mean, it was one of the best bites, you guys, I've ever had. Seriously.
Sounds awesome.
Wow, where's my invite?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know it was going to be out there fishing, bro. I mean, I want to, if I'm going to bring you up, I want to make sure that we're dialed.
No, that sounds unbelievable. And you know what? It's a road or a flight into the wilderness, and you're still in the United States. But you know, I love going to Canada too. They have They live in the dream up there too, but we have part of that dream here too.
Lake Country Air was the name of that lake service, and Jeff.
Lake Country Air.
I'll tell you what. Though, the cool thing about it is, you're fishing in Minnesota. You're the northernmost point of the contiguous U.S. So that little tip of Minnesota, because of the way the longitude and latitude lines come down on a map, we're further north than Maine or Washington State. It's really cool. But then when you get up there, I mean, our resorts are posting on their trail cams all the time. Timber wolves running across the ice, deer. We've even had, not very often, but caribou, like I think it's called the timber caribou. But anyway, it's just really pretty up there. It's very picturesque. The other thing that's interesting is that, when you're fishing Lake of the Woods, obviously we call it the walleye capital of the world, with all due respect to other good walleye fisheries. It's a tagline. But with that being said, a lot of walleyes, a lot of saugers too. So, if those walleyes aren't coming through, those saugers are going to keep you busy. They're great eating. It's interesting. Up at the northwest angle, we find we have a larger percentage of walleyes during the winter. On the south end of the lake, we get our walleyes. We get big ones. But we also get a lot of saugers. More saugers on the south end in that deep mud for the most part, rather than fishing the structure up north. It's interesting. And then, of course, you get your jumbo perch, you get your mixed in pike. Pike are big up in Lake of the Woods. You can get catch a 40, 45-inch pike. Bro, I remember you and Heather were fishing, what was it, last year or the year before out there, and you whacked a big pike.
Oh, yeah. It's you never know when you're going to get them. It's unbelievable, and good to have you here, David. But it's you never know. You can catch, it's not just by shore. We caught them out in the walleye areas, and we've also had times we've gone up there, and when there's insect hatches, and caught all of our walleyes and our saugers on plastics, like little bloodworms and mayflies. The mayflies got them, but these fish were coughing up mayflies. And there's times, and we just happen to have it with, because we sometimes fish saugers with plastics, because they seem to fall for that stuff. They're insect eaters big time. Remind me of like perch with little stripes on their fin.
I'll tell you what, boys, some of your Northland lures, I mean, some are such classics on Lake of the Woods. The buckshot rattle spoon. I'll tell you another one I like. I shouldn't say this publicly. That macho minnow.
Oh, there you go.
That macho minnow that's got the kind of the glow red on it with the glow. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yep.
Now we got another slab spoon.
There's a coffin. Is that the coffin?
That's coffin. The coffin. The macho minnow you're talking about is I believe that one's it's color number 23. I think it's called golden perch. It's a glow red back with like a kind of a fire tigery gold. It doesn't have the tiger stripes, but it has the red, green, and gold on the front. And
that is such a good lure. And, I use them, Sam, in like the normal, I guess it's called a medium size. But I'll tell you, when things get tough, I like downsizing. And I'll tell you the other, and I'll go with a real small minnow head or a real small piece of minnow tail. But I'll tell you the other thing, that extra flapper on the treble hook, that extra flapper in that stained water, I don't know what it is. I think that does something, because that macho minnow
really does
so darn good.
It adds a lot of noise to it, and that's what Bro was showing, that coffin spoon. That coffin spoon kind of has the best of both worlds: the buckshot rattle and the flapper tail. It's got the flat body, so it tumbles, and that's perfect for your bug eating saugers too. The little bro bug spoons.
Yeah, the bro bug spoon is like a little knife, little blade that drops down. It's got the little buggy eyes, and throw some maggots or minnow head on there. But
well, bro, I can remember. I remember during a really, really tough bite in the middle of the afternoon, we could see fish down there. And when you're watching electronics and you can see that line in the bottom just get a little bit fatter than it should, and then it goes down, and they're down there. They're hard to see, but they're down there. You can see that line going up. Well, we weren't catching real good, and we're working, rotating lures and stuff. My cousin had some darn freeze-dried waxworms, and he put that on a real little macho minnow. I mean, maybe it was a real small buckshot rattle, almost like a panfish size. And he dropped that sucker down there, and he started whacking some nice saugers. And that's what it took. It took that really downsize. And these freeze-dried waxworms, I mean, he picked them up at a clearance sale at a sporting goods store and probably had them in his bag for years. But, he tried them. And that day, you talk about the bloodworms and stuff. The other thing I should mention, guys, and maybe you've heard of this, but you guys are – so synonymous with the ice belt. We started that Keep It Clean campaign about 10 years ago. And the purpose of that Keep It Clean is to, educate, promote, and enforce keeping garbage and waste and different things off of our ice. It's interesting. We've had we started this 10 years ago in Lake of the Woods. We've had different areas reach out to us. Heck, now we're on board. Mille Lacs is on board. Upper and Lower Red Lake's on board. We got Lake Vermilion. We got the Fairmont Channel Lakes. So we got lots of lake associations chiming in. And but I tell you what, I think as anglers, we owe it to our future to be talking about this topic and really doing our best to make sure we're securing our garbage, making sure that we have colored garbage bags, being careful about throwing our garbage bags outside where they can blow away if you get one. You know what I'm saying?
It's been kind of a real big deal. And I remember after a trip on lakes like Bowstring, Winnie, Bemidji, filling the back of my truck, that you can't drive by it. I had to stop, and then Sam and I found boots, fresh frozen walleyes laying on Red Lake with fishing lines, cigarettes, cans. But somebody lost their boot and they left a rod behind. Well, we took those walleyes as part of our limit instead of leaving them to go to waste. Pick up the line and the cigarettes and there's always some bad apples out there, and let's hope we can root those apples out. But
well, bro, I tell you what, I think there's two kinds of people really, and my opinion only. But you got your bad apples, and that's a really small segment of people. But then you got your people that are really good meaning. But if you're going to go and spend 3-4 nights in a sleeper, by the time you put a few garbage bags outside and do this and that, between snow, wind, 25 below when you leave, and you're not as checking as good as you should. Well, leaving wood pieces that are underneath your fish shells frozen in the ice and not taking that extra 5 minutes to chop them out. I mean, even good people leave things behind, and I just think that we all need to kind of make that proactive effort. Hey, I'm no tree hugger, all right?
No.
I'm an ice angler. I hunt. But you know what? It's just real stuff. We all owe it to ourselves because we're all in this thing together as far as the reputation of an ice angler.
I love it. And, Joe, you are the man of Lake of the Woods. You're the face of it, and you always bring a great show. If anybody needs to figure out what's going on up there, they could check. You have a site. Could you throw that out there, please?
Yeah, we have everything on our website, you guys. It's lakeofthewoodsmn.com. Otherwise, our Facebook page, Lake of the Woods Tourism, we're real active, posting current stuff on there. And kudos to you guys, too, because you're in the industry, your icons in the industry, and you're spreading information that's very positive for the sport. So kudos to you guys.
Well, I appreciate it. Joe Henry, everybody, just a great guy. And check out those sites. And fishing is well underway. You want to go get that trophy or just go get some fish to eat? That is a great destination. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Now, coming up next, Nick Cox, VP of Razor. Nick Cox is not only the VP, he is a tireless energy full of sales, and I think he's made partly out of razor blades. Go razor some holes, because Nick Cox, he's seen us. We razor some holes, don't we, Nick?
I razor holes, you make me razor holes, and then you fish, and then maybe I get a chance to catch one.
Is that why you guys invited me up that time you were up there, Nick? You were sick of drilling holes, and you're like, call Sam up here. He can drill a few, too.
Yeah, and I still got put to work.
Hey, it's good to have you with the new haircut, kind of an Ivar look, and really cool. But I'm telling you, I razored some holes tonight, and it worked really well. I can't believe how solid that auger is when I lay it down. This new synthetic with the center point, it doesn't sway. And I got a new thing, and I got to show you. And you can do this. I didn't have an 8-inch bit, but I need to use a big transducer. I'm using my Mega Live, and I've got that big transducer to put down in a 6-inch hole. So what did I do? I made a figure 8. Look at this.
I liked what you called it before, the peanut.
Well, it's a peanut. It's Mr. Peanut. It's whatever. But, look at this. You're right about that, Sam. This is what you do. And I couldn't believe how easy it was. I've never had an auger where I could lay it partially into the next one, and it cuts super smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And so that the technology of it, Razor, is off the charts. And it was getting hard to find at the St. Paul Ice Show. Did you sell out at the show?
Yeah, we've been selling out at every show through our retailers that we've been at. We've sold out most of our 8-inch ultras, our 6-inch ultras, our 8 and 6-inch lights. Razor, our website right now, they're out of stock. They may come back in stock after show season. I'm not sure. We'll see if we get some more, but
Oh,
They're
wow.
selling like crazy. So the only place to get those products right now is our dealers, and we plenty of dealers that we have are doing online shipping and everything and free shipping. So definitely check out the dealer locator on the Razor page to find one that maybe you've shopped at or is nearby, so you can go pick one up.
Fantastic. Oh, and I got to tell you, I've been using a 6-inch synthetic, and that thing is so light. And I notice there's extra parts in the box, which is really cool. You don't see that anymore. There's no companies that throw in little extra this and that, and I think that really goes a long way with the consumer.
Well, we all have had something happen to us when we're out hunting or fishing, and for me personally, I love talking to everybody about our augers and about experiences and things like that. But I want to keep you out there fishing, so we don't expect those items to break. We're just throwing 2 extra flutes in the box simply for a service reason, right? Our motto on our bait pucks, our original bait pucks, is never stop fishing, and so kind of pay homage to that motto of just you'll take care of it when you get back in. You don't need to worry about it tonight. And you don't need to call me and wait 2 weeks, which is nice. So.
Sam, you've got a lot of experience using these. It's awesome.
I love my Scout. I got synthetic Ultra on the way. I'm super excited about. But one question I had for you, Nick, is tell the difference between the synthetic Ultra and the synthetic Light.
Yes.
Why would you pick one over the other if you're an angler in different areas?
Well, I mean, we all like to lump ourselves up into the same category of ice anglers, right? But the reality is that some people are drilling through 4 feet of ice in a season, and some people are getting a maximum of 10 inches in a season. So really, maybe a 40-volt, $600 auger is a little overkill for 8 to 12 inches of ice, right? But the synthetic Light is built on our Razor Scout platform. It's a fully adjustable auger. You can collapse it down to 31 inches in length, but you can extend it out to 42 inches. So, Bro, Sam, myself, we can use the lights all year round. We just have it at that 42-inch height setting, just like a regular auger. The biggest difference is it's a little bit lighter weight. It's compactable. And if you are drilling in 36 inches of ice with that synthetic Light, you're just going to want to pump the hole a couple times and flush those shavings out. Whereas the synthetic Ultra, which is our full length auger, that'll go through 36 inches of ice. You do not need to pump the hole out or anything like that. So, and then as far as powering each platform, the synthetic Ultra can be powered by either a power head, gas or lithium, or a brushless drill. Whereas the synthetic Light can be powered by your brushless drill because it comes attached, everything's ready to go in the box. But you could also purchase an optional hand auger handle should you be going into a non-motorized lake, or you don't need that drill in the 4 inches of ice. So that's basically the breakdown between the two.
Well, Sam, it's getting that time, and we'll just pause for a second. Sam, tell people what they can win tonight.
Yep. So we got a big giveaway. Of course, we got a Razor 8-inch Scout going there. We got the Otter backpack, a bunch of Northland Glow Shop Firebelly spoons, which those are another hot one up on Lake of the Woods. We didn't talk about that with Joe, but those can be really hot in the dark water. And then finally, the Bro Road Show mug. So comment, share, and like the show. That'll get you entered into the win. Brooke will be picking a winner at the end of the show for that one. And then, Bro, what else do we got going?
Well, we're giving away an Otter Monster Hub House tonight at the end of the show, thanks to Frank's Great Outdoors. Look at that beast. Yeah, I'm in the photo. You just can't see me. I'm in there. But this house at the end of the show, and all you got to do is share Frank's Great Outdoors Shanty Days, 9th through the 11th, and then tag me in. So share Shanty Days, 9th through the 11th on different sites and tag me in, and we're gonna pick it. I'm not picking it. I'm gonna have Heather or someone else pick it because I don't do that. But share Shanty Days and you win the Monster House. But no, you can't live in it
tonight. Double chances. So make sure.
I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it. Share.
Can I win? No, just kidding. But getting back to things here. I was just out razoring some holes, but I wanted to tell people that it's important to have an auger that drills smooth, because when I was on thinner ice earlier, that synthetic just goes through so smooth it doesn't fracture the ice. It just pops right through. And when I was drilling the peanut, the figure eight, the infinity signature thing there, it was so easy to do. And I've used everything out there, and that was the easiest time I've ever had making infinity peanut figure eight.
I'm excited to try out, because the Scout does a great job of that too. Like, I cut a lot of sight fishing holes, and that pin just helps drive down through. So I'm excited for the synthetic to come play around with that.
Absolutely. I got a question that I've been getting all the time about fishing line, and I got to throw this in there. People ask, which Sunline do you use? Well, even at Sunline, there's different levels of line. And there's some you might find on the shelves under a different name. But this is the high-end stuff here. This is FC Ice. This has more fluorocarbon in it. So this is really the rock star here. If you have summer line that you want to use on your winter, you want to use Sniper. You don't need shooters like Bassmaster Elite Final Day. So much fluorocarbon on there, it's worth more than your reel. You want this if you're going to do a bunch of reels. That summertime stuff will work, but this is the cat's meow FC Ice. If it doesn't say FC Ice, it's the next level, because that's how they rate it. So go out and buy some Sunline. If you can't find it, order it. Then if you can't find it, then call your favorite retailer and make them get it. So that's, and at the bottom of the hole with that fluorocarbon, you're not going to get cut off. But those razor augers probably take all the sharp spots out, don't they, Nick?
Yeah, they do. One I want to comment too, when you're talking about those infinity holes and Mickey Mousing them, or what we would do down here, like sturgeon fishing on the St. Croix River. We take 310s and we every razor ice auger except for our hand augers has a center point, so you can Mickey Mouse your holes anywhere from 4 through 8 inch, and then up to 10 inch on our power augers. So always doable if you need an extra. Say you bring out an 8 and you should have brought a 10. Mickey Mouse 3 holes and you're good to go. So that's a good point.
Nick,
So,
I saw a good question coming in about
go ahead.
The different types of blades on razor. Why don't you talk a little bit
Oh,
about that? And then if I believe they fit all models, right?
Yep. So we've got a couple different styles of blades. We'll just talk about curved blades right now. Flat shaver style blades. Those are what we only put on our hand augers. But we do have curved blade hand augers as well. But so what you'll find on our metal Scouts, 4 inch through 8 inches, you'll find razor curved blades. Okay, so it's a smooth edge curved blade, interchangeable with other brands out there, and then that would use curved blades. And then our second kind of higher end, higher tier blade would be our Razor Pro blades. And so these blades are curved as well. They're available in 6, 7, 8, and 10 inch sizes, and they have serrations in them. They're not chipper blades. They're curved shaver blades with serrations, and the serrations are in there to basically take debris off the cutting edge and kick it off the kick plate in the back, so a piece of sand doesn't roll down that whole cutting edge and dull that. So
Devastated.
Yeah, they're a little bit pricier, $10, $15, but you can run either or on any of the augers we offer if you're running sizes 6 up. So,
well, that's really good information. And then, what setting do you put your brushless drill on? 1, 2, or 3? Daryl Ekstrom had for a question.
Well, I'm going to go with the answer of we're always going to be on speed setting 1. We're going to be in drill mode, and we're going to always have a stabilizer handle on that drill, so we don't hurt ourselves if something does go wrong. And then battery wise, you're going to want a 4 or 5 amp hour minimum battery. And then just a reminder, you hear all the time, hammer drill, hammer drill, hammer drill. The only reason people are saying hammer drill is so you can get that side stabilizer handle, so you can have two-handed operation. You don't actually want to drill in hammer mode. You'll kill your drill, and you'll actually probably never finish the hole.
No, and if it gets caught, you'll find out how many different bones are in your wrist.
Exactly.
And you hear them crack and pop.
Right. But all the augers also connect up to drill plates, and we've got all the accessories that are necessary. So if people have an older drill that doesn't have a stabilizer handle and they don't want to go out and buy a new drill or spend that money, they can go and they can buy a drill plate. They can buy the adapter. They can pair up a third-party drill plate to our adapter, and any of our augers will actually go onto that drill plate and giving you a nice, safe two-handed operation without a stabilizer handle. So.
Fantastic. Well, I gotta tell people too, for those using forward viewing, you got to check out the Amped Outdoors 12-volt, 30 amp hour battery. And Nick, you're going to use big batteries like that. Sam, you can't beat that company. They know their stuff. They're not just walking around and have to look in a book. They know their stuff. And then also, and Nick, I know you like high-end rods. Sam, we had a chance to have on St. Croix Ryan Teach, and he just scratched the top of what's going on at St. Croix and some of the CI custom ice and how there's 5 different carbon graphites in one rod. So like this has 5 different carbon graphites. They roll it, they bake it from scratch. It's like donuts. You know, we in the early morning hours, they just make this out of dust. And so I got to ask everybody, where's your blank from? St. Croix, it's from there. And then, so now they got Scandics and other stuff, but look at these eyelets, how they're curved and designed to have the line hanging down and these fine wires. Super cool stuff. If you missed that episode, go back and watch that. We had that, and you could see it, and he gets into it, but he couldn't do it all because we didn't have enough time. So definitely check out St. Croix while you're at it.
So we've got another question coming in. Favorite spoons for both walleye and panfish? What you want to go first, bro?
Brobug spoon. And this is a little spoon that I've caught so many walleyes on. And walleyes are bug eaters. I mean, you know, you can only eat minnows so much, and then you get them stuck in your teeth like popcorn hulls. You gotta eat insects too, because it's like spaghetti night. You know, what are they going to do? Eat bloodworms. And that Brobug spoon is a bloodworm. That is what I use for both. What about you?
I like the glass buckshot. Has been quickly a favorite of mine.
Oh no, it hasn't really.
Walleyes, followed by the coffin spoon. The coffin spoon. Those are definitely my 1-2. Buckshots are great too. As far as panfish goes, 1-2 is definitely Brobug spoon and the little forage minnow spoon, that 32nd ounce forage minnow spoon. So
there's a coffin right there. I was flashing them in gin clear water. But
how about you, Nick?
I was gonna say the coffin spoon after fishing that a little bit last year. Really enjoyed that. And I was gonna say, how come nobody ever mentions the forage minnow? But there you go, and you beat me to it. But the smallest one on that, with a nice rod, with a nice sensitive rod and light line, I mean, it's perfect for crappies. So
I agree, and it's anything Northland's going to catch a fish, whether it's walleyes, perch, panfish. There's something, and even the big tubes for trout and big northerns. Definitely a lot of stuff, and great photos people are sending here. Before we get too far into this now, so Razor Augers, check at your local dealers. Could you just give us like just a list of stores? You know, of course, Frank's Great Outdoors and.
Yeah, so okay, we've got a few on the road events if you actually want to come out and talk, or you know, if you're in the area. So I'll just kind of brush through. This weekend coming up, we've got the Arrowhead Ice Convention that's in Duluth at the Deck. We'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be there with Russ and Marine General. They're a great retailer, so come on down and check out the booth. And Bro will be in the booth. Bro will be roving around, so you get a chance to meet with him. Frank's Great Outdoors Shanty Days, they'll have all kinds of good deals out there. The weekend after Duluth, actually 2 weeks out, I'll be out in Fish 307. I'm not sure if anybody's aware of them. They're in Lake George, New York. They are
cool.
Awesome shop. And so definitely check those guys out. And they've got a great online presence as well. Then we've got Novi, the Ultimate Fishing Show in Novi. So then show season is over around January, but razoriceaugers.com/dealer locator. That is where you want to go. If you can't find a dealer, you know, or you're having trouble navigating there for some reason, you can always contact us. We're glad to help you find your local dealer. You can just send us an email or give us a phone call. So
yeah, Northwoods up in Bemidji's got them.
Yeah,
Northwoods. I mean,
Timberline, Sports, and Black Duck.
Yep. Yeah,
Everyone's going to have them pretty soon.
Around that area. So
back to tips now, because here's the thing: somebody might not have heard some of the simple things, and sometimes we're complex. I got tournament guys calling me and saying, "Hey, you coughed up some stuff there." But so everybody, are you going to use lead, like a Brobug spoon or a forage fry when you're using a live minnow? Are you going to hang a Gamakatsu colored hook? What are you going to do? I was like this on my dead sticks because Gamakatsu sticks them, and then you can add some colors, and that pink hook kicks butt on some of the tannic stained lakes. But what are you going to use? A lead bait from Northland Tackle or a hook?
I've always, from the angler standpoint, I've been a fan of the plain hook, but I've got my butt kicked enough times by actually having like a forage minnow jig on there that I always have both. I like to swap in between the two and see what's going. But sometimes a little bit of color and a little bit of weight, keeping that minnow right in place, helps you. So lately I've been going more forage minnow jig.
Oh, that's very good. And Nick, I've never seen you use a dead stick. You're jigging and running around, and I'll look for it. He's gone. Like,
that's because you're telling me to drill another string of holes.
Well, yeah, I do crack the whip, but he's a VP of an auger company. I just thought he liked doing razoring holes.
I love it. It's my passion.
Now remember, we don't drill anymore. Drilling is for the other companies that you have to push down hard, or it'll spin you on clear ice. We razor holes. Yeah. It'll pull your auger down. If you lean on it, you're going to go straight down. But I want to show something here, and Brooke has it here. We brought the AquaView 822 out. Colt Ringer was a great interview, but you got to check this out. We got some footage. Let's hope that it works. We always keep our fingers crossed because it gets iffy here. Check this out. Here it comes. The
dueling bluegills.
Yep, the hybrids were on the prowl tonight. It was amazing. And look, the other one was just waiting for the line to come back down, but we're like, okay, that's all we need. Awesome. I love that. And then I want to show people, and that fish went back. Heather reminded me that went back. But I want to show a lifestyle shot. Right after I razored some holes, and I have my sled here. I've got the otter sitting up, and this is what it's about here. Getting out there, when you could drive a truck, it's great and everything. This is so much fun. I had the Otter Resort. That house is so big, you can have a square dance in there. And then I have the Otter box on the back of my sled, and between the two, and look at this. I'm a mule on this thing. Look at this. I've got my razor auger. I've got extra buckets and gear and all my fragile stuff inside, electronics, on a super wide track sled so I don't get stuck. But this is lifestyle. And we were toasty warm, but my goodness, was it a cold ride because I didn't dress very good coming in. But so
I like how you remounted that light.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, that was cool. The tail light from the snow.
Oh, yeah, go back to that photo once. Let's look at that.
Cool.
I want to show you on here. I wanted the tail light really visible because when you're on trout lakes, you're whipping through and you're going super fast. I don't want someone that's on my tail hitting me, so I made sure to have that light on the outside, and that took a little bit of time, but well worth it. I did that myself, so if it falls off, it's like Mr. Potato Head losing his smile. But so back into it here. So Razor Augers is a giant hit, and all that's left are what's at the retail and the dealers. Yeah. And so that's fantastic. You got to be loving that right now. We love it too. Very soon, we got some giant giveaways, and well, let's throw it out there because it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So again, reminder: we have the Northland giveaway, bunch of low shot Firebelly spoons, the Bro Roadshow mug, an Otter backpack, nice heavy duty canvas backpack, and of course the 8-inch Razor Scout bit. And then, bro, on the Otter Frank's Great Outdoor side, what do we got?
Oh, look at this!
Light they are. One-handed.
And that perch is handsome.
What? Yeah, this is the lightest auger out there, isn't it?
That's fantastic. And here's the thing. We got such great viewers, and I love it when they have a chance to win something, even though would they watch us without any stuff to give away? I hope so. I trust that you would. But we got good information. If you have any quick questions, let us know. And then on my side, all you got to do is share Shanty Days 9 through the 11, Frank's Great Outdoors, and then tag me in, and you have a chance to win. Do it quick because the ladies got to tally through, and then look at this otter house. And I'm in the photo. You just can't see me behind the scenes. All right. So coming up, remember everybody, we're going to be at the Duluth show, which is actually, is that Duluth or is that Hermantown?
That's Duluth.
That's Duluth. So that's going to be a good show. It's fun. It's quaint. And there's probably going to be a lot of people. There's a couple shows. There's one going on in Fargo that's turning into a great show. And there's a big show all the time. And but the ice is great here. Like Sam and I were talking earlier, Nick, it literally doubled in the last 4 days. And so it's time for everybody to hit the ice. And I got a surprise. We have one more show next week. We decided to come back because I had people just busting my chops to have another show. And Sam, they love you because they know that if you unplugged, I would just disappear because he keeps. And then Brooke, of course.
I come with the Northland giveaways too. So he
has the Northland giveaways. And so just remember, I'm going to be at Fleet Farm Thursday night in Hermantown. And so Hermantown is outside of Duluth. So stop in if you have any questions, easy questions, nothing too complicated, please. And definitely we'll talk fishing and shop. And then I will be at the show between the Razor and the Otter booth on Friday and Saturday. Sunday, I'll be at Rogers Cabela's. So if you're around any of those places, stop by and say hi to me. And then definitely I'll be at Rogers Cabela's from 9 to 2 and then back up to Ice Fish. So last a couple of things. If you could give the viewers one quick tip, I'm talking 20 seconds, starting now, what would you do, Nick?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading these chats. What was the question?
Okay, Sam, you go first.
I'm gonna pick it up.
One quick ice fishing tip.
Yeah.
My 20-second tip would be keep it simple in the beginning of the year. Less rods, less tackle. Go and focus on fishing, and then advance from there.
Nick?
Avoid the crowd. Try to stay away from
I love it. And then, so now, for my tip for everybody is don't go past the fish. And I've seen it last several times out. People want to go to the middle of everything. And I'm catching fish right by shore, but of course, shoreline connected spots. So let's get in on the giveaways. Now, Sam, do we have a winner for your giveaway?
We got a winner. Let's see here. It is going to be Scott Bates for the Northland.
All right, Scott Bates. Woo!
Otter
there
back
you go.
in there and the Bro Road Show mug. So Scott will be reaching out for that.
Okay.
And bro, who's the lucky otter winner?
Okay, who's going to be taking home the Monster Lodge? You don't get this hat with it, but the Monster Lodge. I just got a thing in here now. Evan Mallison, you have just won is one a word? You have just won an Otter Monster Hub House. Congratulations, Evan Mallison. You have just won. So everybody's a winner at the Bro Road Show. We're glad to have you. And so before I go, I want to thank Brooke Drace, my producer, Sam, my co-host, the bro host of the Mo host, and of course, Nick Cox. Nick at Night is on. This guy is a busy man. I'm glad he could come out. Stop by at the show. Come up and talk to him and slow his life down a little bit. Come visit me. And of course, my lovely wife for her creative marketing and keeping me on the straight plan. And everybody support these companies. Can't wait to see you. Come sit in an otter. Come check out the augers and Northland Tackle. We'll see you this weekend and talk to you next week at 7.
Fish unless there's at least 4 inches of ice, and that's with the safety. You gotta love it. Yeah, I know.